Welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer Fantasy podcast to quench your hobby thirst for all things the old world. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, and I'm joined by Andrew and today Cam. How are we going, guys?
Great, thanks for having me on.
He did it.
Did I pull it off? I feel like I did. I wobbled.
It was so natural, so natural.
No Gomo tonight. No Gomo. I gotta drag this thing. Usually he just pulls it off for us. But was he in Bali? Was he? Is that where he's?
Yeah.
Is that where he's at the moment?
Yeah. Another holiday.
Photos. Yeah. I'm sure he'll regale us some stories. And I was away this weekend. I was whale watching, of all things, in Warrnambool. Saw some pretty cool whales actually. Saw some breaching. I've been on this charter trip before. Didn't see nothing. Saw no whales whatsoever. But yeah, we sat there for 2 days on the beach or on the coast, like on the cliff side. Saw nothing for the first 14 hours of sitting there, and then in the last hour before we're going to go home, bunch of whales appeared, and it was actually quite cool. Anyway, that's my last story.
Well, how long did you live in Newcastle for, Josh?
5 years.
Okay. Did you just not see them all the time on the Newcastle beach walk?
Yeah.
See. I mean, yeah, we did go by watching there, and we saw the humpucks and that type of thing.
Yeah.
What we're looking to see is
every time I go out.
This is going deep whales now. We're keen to try to see. We still haven't seen them. Is some southern right whales. Don't see up there.
No.
But yeah, we're keen, we're avid. And the thing is, we haven't seen whales for ages. So yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys see it. And last time we're up Bermagui and all that kind of area, humpbacks flapping around. But down in Victoria, it's a harder battle, and it's a lot colder down here. You really got to resist.
Yes, 14 hours on the southern beach down in Warrnambool. I've been fresh.
But yeah, anyway, so today, I mean, we've got a bit of a hodgepodge of stuff to talk about because yeah, we got Cam on. Thanks for coming on. Want to chat the War of the Beards series that you guys are currently putting together and releasing. That I've sort of been vaguely following a bit on the WhatsApp chat, but only just sort of like I'll load up the WhatsApp. There's like 17 new messages. I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's just too much for me to follow.
It's basically just Andrew and I talking. Like we're going to let you and Colin know that we are doing stuff for the show, but it's basically Colin comes on every 3 days and goes, oh, sick, things are happening. Good work.
Yeah. Exactly. I love it.
Let's Cam.
I'll try and it's mainly your work. And then I'll do a quick rundown on the little monthly campaign that I'm starting this weekend as well. And then I don't know, after that, like we might talk about the preview show that's happening and what we think might be going on. Because that just got announced this morning. So yeah, keen to hear what some rampant speculation about all that. But yeah, cool. Shall we just proceed with the episode?
Sure. Well, you're in charge tonight.
Let's chat some War of the Beard.
Yeah.
Where did this idea come from? Tell us about it.
When I was a kid, basically. I remember reading it in the White Dwarf magazine. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be heaps of fun. Just never ended up doing it. And now you idiots let me have a platform. I remember it one day. I actually think it was actually talking to Mark Langley about it on the Patreon ages ago. I was jokingly telling him get there because he says he's got connections. Like, tell him to make more of the High Elf Dragon stuff, please. Anyway, so I came up with the idea and found the old rules on the web and had a little bit too much time on my hands and had a willing participant with Andrew to go, yeah, I'll do some dumb stuff. So that's basically it. I was just sort of a really cool part of the Warhammer story, really fleshed out reason as to why, the dwarves and the elves hate each other. And it just had some such fun fluff aspects to it in the book. Be able to sort of really, it's always been about the elves and the dwarves are fading races, but it was like, no, this is when they kick ass. So I thought that was all the motivation. And when I saw a tabletop tactics like when they first started doing the old world videos again, they did those really sick stylized intros. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that. Got to do it. So
yeah, that's right. Because it's not just you're playing War of the Beard series. You're actually with a lot of effort to get a actually really nice looking narrative video with it. Yeah, the cool intro and all the I love the lighting effects and the scenery you put together. It's actually really quite fun.
It's turned into quite a fun hobby project. Just doing something different. It is really dorky, and because from our kitchen you can sort of see through the yard to where we call it the pool has a little studio-y thing. It's just a little attached cottage at the back of our house. And just I've seen my wife walk past, and I'm like like got the camera up, and like there's like tea lights for the fire. She just does a big eye roll. It's like, yeah,
that's part of it. Yep.
You see those jokes like, tell me your husband won't cheat on you without saying he won't cheat on you. It's just my husband makes whatever videos with his mates.
Yep, with little tea lights for the buildings and all the blue lights and stuff. I love it. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty creatively effective. So I don't know, it turned out right. It's a surprisingly large amount of effort to get that one like 5-second shot of just that pan through there. It took me a lot of goes just to get that shot right.
Just getting like a sort of a steady sort of panning across kind of thing.
As steady as I could, and what I'd do is I'd sort of try and time it with the audio I had, because I recorded what I wanted to say in the radio voice, and I'd try and get it all to pan and time together, and I'd sort of watch it, and then I'd say, crap, you can see a tea light, or crap, there's a USB stick sitting in the background, or like, oh, there's a beer can, whatever's in the background, and try and not ruin the immersion. There we go. And just do it again.
Sorry, I'm on the chat. I'm trying to. I can't do two things at once.
No, that's all good. Yeah, so there was a lot of time and effort spent getting those arranged, and I was really helpful when Andrew was able to drop just a bunch of his dwarves off, so I could just do stuff midweek in order to get it to sort of come together. I'm happy with a lot of it. Some of it I'm not as happy. But it's all been a bit of fun practicing. But there were moments where I couldn't find ways to plug the gaps, which where I had to rely on some other sources.
I thought sort of because definitely a mixture of like still images. We'll describe them as. But that's fine. Like it fills it out nicely. Like and it's very hard to get a miniature source to get all those different shots, I suppose. But
I know it's a controversial topic, and I know it upsets people, but I tried to avoid using it as much as I can. But there was a comment, and on my other YouTube channel, my very, very crap 40K one, there was another. I was called literal scum. I was literally scum. That was one of the comments about using a AI generated image of this hobby that I was spending my own time doing for free. But I didn't commission an artist to draw a very small picture for a 2-minute YouTube intro. So that was sort of interesting, sort of finding out sort of how people, how passionate they are about this. It's a shame Gommo isn't here because he's also very passionate about it in a different
he's very passionate about that. We should just adopt it because it's what's happening in society, and you might as well just leverage it and make the best of it. But the thing is, I mean, it's not like you're just generating the whole thing out of AI. You're just really just using it to supplement what you're actually putting a lot of effort in to build.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how I could get two dwarves, like a dwarf and an elf, all of which are usually armed to the teeth, to look like they're suspicious of each other.
Yeah.
How do I convey that with two
Like as in two physical miniatures
from the 90s. Like how do I? So anyway, it is a frustration. I know people are upset about it. I mean, AI is coming for all of us. I mean, even in the dental world, it's all going through treatment planning, dental X-rays, diagnosis. There's the lab I use came back from a big convention in China. There's like a robot that's placed 100,000 implants in humans. There's a dentist just sitting there, not even steering it, just watching it, making sure it doesn't do anything. Like so,
that'd be scary.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. It's an AI does your Google search, AI does your phone, it reads your emails for you now, all sort of stuff like that. But heaven forbid, I use it to draw a picture to give you a bit of entertainment. And it's anyway. So I kept wanting to keyboard warrior it, and I'm like,
no, there's no point engaging. It really isn't. Just let it be what it is. If people want to put up those comments, that's whatever. But you're not going to necessarily change someone's mind just by going hammer and dong. I mean, that's just the internet. Like you just don't want to escalate it.
It's used very limited. Like we use it, extremely limitedly, just due to the fact that people don't like it. And I think most people do. They use it, so we don't saturate. I think it is fair just occasionally when you can't. Generate something with the models you've got that you can, just throw an AI image in every now and again. Surely that's fair.
It is. I personally enjoy seeing the dioramas set up way more than I enjoy just plugging some numbers into a chat GPT. So
absolutely.
I'm trying my best to avoid it because that's not what inspired me was the tabletop tactics and even like the Games Workshop White Dwarf dioramas of the armies with all the really 90s and early 2000s terrain and things, which is where it's all come from. I don't have a bottomless studio like tabletop tactics and things like that. But the two are up there, and each one has been a learning curve as to how I can try and get it better. Like getting I think I got the dice box sync heats better.
Well,
Andrew.
That looks really cool. I mean, I love that as an idea, by the way. Like just that whole setup, just being able to see the dice as you roll and different color dice for different players. Like, it's
I think the pink weren't quite as readable as I'd like. They didn't roll very well for Andrew.
Okay.
But I kind of being critical of myself, going, there's probably too much. Like this sort of slowness in some of the turns. I think I needed to cut more of our older style panovers and that kind of thing like that. But I don't know. It's been fun and sort of cutting it together. I hope other people have enjoyed it. I said with
the table, like so with the first video, with all that terrain, was that stuff that you actually made for this whole thing?
I literally bought that entire table just for this campaign.
Amazing.
Yeah, I just because I had this idea of sort of I want it to be, and the third board is also going to be thematic and sort of timed to where it is in the storyline and things like that. But I didn't have anything dwarf related. I'm like, well, I kind of want that. I can't just only be on the high elf or the Greenfield style one. So I was like, Dwarf Town. Okay, cool. I emailed our friend at Pan and Wargaming. I was like, I need all this stuff. In fact, the first set of rocks, like the crystals that are meant to be the forest, so to speak, because they're meant to be their mining area, they were wrong. So I ordered some more different ones. I've had a couple of goes of trying.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember seeing photos like it was either really big ones or really small ones.
And then at this point I just gave up. So the first ones came out and they were just too big. And I was chatting with Jeff about it. Like, I think that's about right. I'm like, it's probably okay. It was not okay, so that's fine. A big shot.
Love it.
I reckon that looked all right. Like, I think you must be like, when it's yours, you're overly critical. But like somebody like when I came in, I was like, that's actually pretty cool. Just having like the different,
I bought all this crap off Etsy and like rocks and all I've gotten. It's been a lot of fun and it's been a labor of love.
I still think one of the best things that I liked was like in that first battle where you had like the dwarf village, but then there was like that forest with like the edge of the woods, and then there was like the path that they're all coming down. It was awesome. Like it was just I don't know. There was so much life in the board. You just playing it. I was like, this is like awesome. It was really really fun to play on.
So I'm hoping the third game matches that. So Andrew and I have done most of the pre-recording, so the video, like the intro bit. We just we're teed up Sunday night. So hopefully.
So when Cam's saying Andrew and I, he's being nice, and it's really just Cam.
Love it. Because what's the third? Because is it a series of 3?
It is a series of 3
battles.
Yeah. I'll probably talk. I'll repeat this in the YouTube video, but the third one is based on it's the Last Stand, and there's one of the created characters in the Games Workshop of the White Dwarf. Sorry, was Salador or something like that, but he doesn't quite translate to that, so we just made our own character. But it's his Last Stand, and he's this time hopefully Andrew rolls better. It's meant to be the butchering of the High Elves.
The old no spoilers, but the old somebody didn't pull their weight in the last battle. I'll just say that.
It's not how I thought that was going to go.
Quite intrigued.
Anyway,
that's the last one.
It was I thought it was a really fun game. And I was really proud of how that board looked. And again, I kept buying. I wasn't happy with it. Went off the front of the office, came back with more shit. Anyway,
that's good.
So that's good. So yeah, that'll get recorded on Sunday, and I'll just tinker away at it for about a week. So hopefully, be that for the following weekend, and try and cut all the audio and stuff together, and work on it a bit there. So, but I've got being a mega nerd, I have other ideas, which if people like this, please like and subscribe and make a comment on the YouTube videos, and maybe I'll do it again. And it'll just be all AI next time.
Just type the whole thing into the
just type the whole
generate the entire video. That'd be cool.
So, and maybe if there's one of the Western Sydney Wargamers ones, I'll just sort of message the organizer. Hey, can I borrow some shit? Just I don't know. We'll see. So but watching the Black Sigils, he's just on. Black Sigils is on. So I must. I have to find out which particular gimbal he has. You have to get him to send me his model, and I'll look into getting that. Probably not before Sunday, but I think it was good. So
is another premium setup as well with his terrain. So
his looks pretty good.
Both have really good boards.
But yeah, that's basically it. It was just something I've wanted to do for ages, and I just finally had some other friends to do it with that are equally as keen. So yeah.
One other thing I was interested to talk about was with the rules set that you came up with. So what was involved in that? Like, what have you? Because it's the one where you had to have like a higher magical item allowance and that type of thing, wasn't it, for the dwarves? Like, it's trying to replicate basically when they were at their peak, I suppose.
Yeah.
How did you go about, adapting it for the old world? Because it was 6 ed, wasn't it? Was this?
I think it was 6 ed.
Yeah.
5th or 6th, yeah.
Basically, I looked at some of the magic items. I just kind of, because they made bespoke magic items. I looked at what things they could and couldn't change. And it is hard because the design of the power level is 6 ed and 8th edition. Old world is way, I don't know where that came from. It's just way different to it. So we did come up with one idea for getting Andrew some black powder as well, because that's completely banned in that edition. But I kind of, after the last game, it did feel a bit. So we're thinking like, they're never allowed to re-roll a misfire, and it's like +1 or -1 to your roll on the misfire, so you're way more likely to have the cannon stuff up or something. We were toying with it, and Andrew just said, "No, I don't really like Black Matter anyway," so we didn't look too hard into it.
We're not cannons, yeah, because like organ guns are like the newest in obviously the new timeline. So I'm assuming cannons would have been the new thing back then, so organ guns wouldn't have even been a thing. But yeah, I'm not a big cannon person anyway, so it worked out all right that I took my grudge thrower, even though
did it hit?
It didn't do much.
Okay. I think it missed it. That's right. Okay, you rolled like a 10 on the scanner every time.
Yeah, that's all right. These things happen.
That's just one of them.
Still under development. I had to how to aim the thing.
Yeah, I looked through whatever I could because 6Z and a lot of the basic mechanics are fairly similar to the old world now, but it was just getting the power and balance of it, just letting us go with the magic items and banning those couple things there. I did also have a idea to have the game results influence the next legs of the campaign.
Like a little tree campaign. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I did like a tree campaign just for that. But I couldn't get it to come to fruition the way I kind of wanted it to. But I think you being the campaign master, I might chat to you about it if we do this again. So it's makes it a bit more. So then I can have an intro and then a post-credit scene, which will delay the videos a bit. But then I can say for instance, in the first game, one of my ideas was going to be if the Dark Elves were able to destroy the baggage train, it was going to make it worse for Andrew in his battle against me in the second game. But it was just kind of, I couldn't quite get it the way I wanted it to do it. But then I was hoping that'd be a flow-on effect. And then maybe if I have a character that gets killed, like that magic item he or she was using, like if it's a damsel or something, can't be used later on. Like you might still have like a damsel or whatever, the staff or whatever can't be used again. So I think I could make it a little bit more fun on that side. And then we can also then have the after credit scene and do some more silly little setups, and I can embarrass my wife.
And that's the main reason you're doing it, isn't it? Just to get her just reveling in the eye roll.
You said yes. You're married. We've got 2 kids. You're in pretty deep now.
Just tag her in the Instagram.
We'll bring her on the next video.
But it's not just that though, because you adapted the Dragon Princes to the old world as well, right? Like,
yeah, that was lucky in that it was almost a straight swap with just a prince on a hero, whatever the hero that one's called, on a griffin.
Noble?
Yeah, there we go, noble. Thank you. It's a noble on a griffin, but I tweaked a couple of its rules. And put its points a bit higher. So I stock standard built a noble and a griffin, and then sort of compared it to the points of the 6Z version and sort of tweaked it and I bumped it up a little bit to get it right, or as close as right as we could. They did all right.
Yeah, no, they went quite well.
They didn't feel too overpowered. Having a high elf prince with 150 points worth of magic items, that was nasty. That was holy crap. So that was a bit of fun. So Andrew, I think hopefully is going to take. You were pretty basic with your heroes, but you're going to step that up in the final round. Really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was trying to go like just masses of infantry and then hoping that the numbers and the combat res might prevail, and I mean even charging into combat,
he got like 3 or 4
really angry.
He got like 3 charges in one turn, rolling 6s. It's like bang bang.
The old dwarves. I'll it is a hard, because obviously Cam knows as well, because we were both trying to construct lists that felt very, narrative wise, but also pushing towards like maybe like a bit of a Sixth Ed sort of feel to it. So like there weren't masses of monsters as such. There wasn't just bulk artillery, like it wasn't like meta listing. It was just sort of like, you know, a good selection of infantry, which I think is like what you're going to expect in the War of the Beard, right? So yeah, I like that feel. It's just unfortunate that, you know, infantry is not in a great spot, but it just happened to be that the way it works, I just got demolished. The old Sword Masters and the White Lions do quite well in the old infantry versus infantry matchup, don't they?
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah. Don't let anything else happen. Like an arrow goes in that direction, they'll die. But you know.
Yeah.
We figured nobody wanted to watch a lovely narrative intro and then have, I'm going to use Cathay as an example, then have 5 balloons be the game on stream. Like, oh, sick. This is... So anyway, I hope people enjoyed it. But yeah, that's hopefully the last one soon.
I think that's totally part of the attraction, though, because these are archetypes. You don't see like these particular, not just armies, but the construction of them is not something that you really see at the moment at all. And it's nice to see them. You know, some of these units that are seen to be not that great can do some work in the right situation.
In a very specific situation.
Dwarves with no black powder. As long as they're not taking black powder, can't be shot off. I'll be okay. Speaking of AI, I've been sitting on this for a minute. Can I pop up? So, John, Angela's Dark has quite kindly done a little bit of AI generation for stuff that might be useful for us. We've done a little bit of a 3 white dwarves. Where I think it is supposed to be 3 of us. It doesn't quite come through as well as the Elven version, which is absolutely ridiculous.
That one, you got
to use that.
Look, Andrew looks hot. Andrew looks hot.
You got to use that. Oh, please.
I don't mind
please,
that.
Kev. Please.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
Can somebody's email the full res image of that? This is going to be. I'm going to recut the whole final act.
The story's got to change.
Yeah, I'm going to recut the whole final act. This is going to be big dramatic music for our final last stand.
If you want it, it's just chilling there in the old Life Fanatics live stream chat there, guys. Oh man, I don't mind how I look as a high elf. I could totally be a high elf.
Why am I still walled as a high elf? That's just come on, man. And short. Fuck. The AI knows, man. It knows. I can't even imagine myself to be tall with hair. It's crap. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Okay, I think that's it. I feel like that's a nice way of
that's a really nice way to wrap
the topic.
Yeah,
cool. All right. Well, yeah, I'm keen to see if how the last one plays out. But yeah, the first 2 they've been really fun, really well made. And yeah, we don't see much of these sort of full on intro narrative stuff going on. So
that's because there's a lot of effort.
Yeah, seems like it. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I don't think, because you need to have a certain combination of skills, or at least willing to learn how to do all the video editing and stuff, and then get all the cameras together. And
I've been on the YouTube for how to do things on DaVinci II, but a buddy of mine I've known for years who also does some of the social media stuff for my dental practice. So every now and then I text him like, Nick, how do I do this? How do I make it look good? And he'll fix anything. But most of I just get on the YouTube and spend a lot of time and just cutting. It's been a fun little tinkering hobby. I do have a massive pile of grey minis over there that I've got to deal with, but I've been having more fun making the YouTube videos about said minis. So anyway.
Yep.
But you've got a narrative going on.
I do have some narrative going on. So because that was the other sort of topic that wanted to chat about, because This weekend is when I restart a whole monthly campaign, this time of the old world, moving on from 6 Ed. I got 10 players coming in on Sunday.
Is your little Tessellate thing again? Or is it the same map? You're building a new one? The tiles?
Moving on from the tiles for this one. So this is a bit more of a less complicated campaign. So it's using like the territory cards. So the old 6 Ed, the 5th Ed battle book had the that big D66 table where you could like randomly generate campaign territories from and fight over them. I'll see if I can pull up the image of it actually.
When you said that, I just sort of flashed back to me as a kid, like finding that page actually when you said D66.
Because it's a classic. This one, I loved it. So and the thing is, like, the cool thing with it is, like, you generate a few of these territories, but then each battle you have to pick one to stake and risk losing. Now I sort of ran with that a little bit, where everyone starts with a couple of territories. And then but the stake, because you have to stake territories. What I've had a fun thing to do with is, because in that original battle book, the road has an effect where if you stake the road and win, it actually goes up by another D6 times 10 points. Now, like, I feel like that's a fun thing to do for all the territories, right? So essentially, what I've done is there's a stake effect for all the different stuff on there. And, there's a bunch of other territories that are made that type of thing as well. But there's a couple of examples of stuff where, like with the town, it gives you some extra points. So your list increases your character allowance, include champions, because one of the restrictions in the base army says you can't take any champs. But the stake effect, if you stake the town, this is a relatively minor effect, but the card's good otherwise in terms of passives, so I feel like I didn't really give it too much of a stake, which is basically double the victory point bonus for enemy standards, because they're taken back to the town and they're displayed in the marketplace kind of thing. Whereas mountains, this is the main gateway to get any sort of bear moss and monstrous creature or monstrous cav. Like, it's actually quite restrictive again, because you're starting off, it's just be 1,500 points up, minimum 500 points core, up to 250 points characters, no rare, and up to 500 points special. Only one war machine or chariot, one magic item, and no monsters of any kind. So it's really bare bones, and it's really for these territories that it gives you stuff. So the mountains, that's how you can take a monstrous cav, monstrous creature, or bear moth. You get 250 points of rare, and you can get a gold mine if you roll a 6 when you take it. And then if you stake it, you actually can place a hill on your half of the table. Whereas other territories are a little bit different. So scouting party, for instance, is just completely completely different whole thing. Like, so it's not unlocking stuff for your army, such as the shrine, which again gives you more character allowance, bumps your rare a bit, and lets you take another wizard and a magic item. And if you stake it, you get a bit of a miscast insurance. Scouting party, when you draw from any deck in the game, so the main deck that you draw from is a territory deck. So if you win a game, you draw from the territory deck, and then you can pick either your opponent's stake territory, or you pick the new territory to take, and they take whatever territory you didn't pick of those two, basically. So the scouting party, when you draw from that deck, you would draw a third card, and then so you would discard one of them, so that you're actually essentially giving yourself more opportunity to pick sort of what you would like. It also makes it much more likely to select table size, because you get a +3 modifier and rolling off for that. And with the stake, after both sides are finished deploying, you can redeploy a unit as well. Now, the other thing is there's 2 decks in the game. So this is a more recent thing that I've come up with just the other week, because the matchups for the whole thing was just randomized. It was basically just like everyone just comes in, And then you just sort of like, okay, just draw up. But I kind of wanted the matchups to be a bit more sort of meat on it.
Yep.
Because it just didn't feel fun enough. So I made up another little deck. So this deck is basically.
Is anybody else getting the feedback in the chat?
Are you getting feedback, Josh, on your side?
No, not really.
No.
Oh no, I can hear it there. Yeah, I can definitely hear a soft one.
Yeah, I didn't know if somebody had their phone near any audio gear.
Well, it was sort of across me, but I'm not sure.
No.
Yes, there is feedback. Just ignored it.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it's my shitty headset or something. I'm just trying to reposition things and see if that stops being so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really.
The other thing would be whether it's echoing in your. Has it stopped?
Yeah.
Maybe it was me.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Sorry, gang.
That's
Who brought this guy on? Who brought this guy on? Goddamn.
Hold on. Let me just. I'm going to. How do I get this up?
There were people asking, Josh. They're like, "Where can we get this from?"
I know. Well, I want to try and pull up the main thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
How long does the campaign go for?
It's going to go for like 6 to 9 months, I reckon. That type of thing.
Oh, damn.
Roughly.
How do you get 10 players to commit to something for 6 to 9 months?
I don't know. I already had my sort of.
It's a special selection process.
Because I already had like 5 or 6 from my old campaign group that started off as a slow grow, and they're sort of like this group. And then I just was like, asked a few other people that I knew were like, "Oh, do you want to join up for this?" And they're like, "Yes." Yes, I would. Maybe you probably spend hours building cool rule list set that looks attractive, and people go, "Oh, actually, I will dive into that." Because I'll come back to that in a minute. So this is I will put up a list for the campaign rules and that type of thing for it. Can I get this to a better window? There we go. Yeah. Essentially, this just goes through all the different stake effects and which I've already sort of explained the stake and that type of thing. I have also done a whole bunch of specific scenarios for it though as well. So the scoring units, I've essentially got the scoring units essentially the same as what I'm using when I'm running in the August GT. Essentially, you got to be in strength 10. You got to have a standard bearer. You got to you can't be in marching order. Or you're going to be in combat order, I suppose. I've got, I won't go into these scenarios too much, but I've got essentially, because all the armies, like I have fitted a ambush scenario in here, because all the armies essentially, when I had the tile-based campaign, it was easier a bit to do the ambush type stuff because everyone had like 3 sort of lists where, they had the core list and then 2 add-on lists, and so with the ambush I could just use the ambush. It just had the core list and that kind of thing, and it gave me a bit of a points differential. With the way I've had to do it with this sort of ambush situation is it's still both teams have the same number of points, and it's basically like a double ambush in a way. So player A has to divide their army into 2 forces, the main force and the snare force. So it's sort of like it's a decoy ambush. So the snare force has to have, it may be up to worth 500 points. It must have at least one unit in it. Then they can pick however many. It can be as big or as small as you want within that up to 500 point limit. But essentially, they deploy their main force as an ambush. So in the center line of the board, a single column facing the same direction. Then player B puts a whole army down as an ambush, at least 2 foot from enemy units. And then the player A secretly writes down which table edge their snare force will arrive from. Then player B, the ambusher as such, goes first. But at the start of the second turn of player A, the person being ambushed, the snare player, I suppose, they move on from their previously selected table edge. And there's a couple of different little victory point bonuses about, if the snare force is like a detachment charging into the unit that's already engaged with the main force as such, and a couple of things like that. But essentially, it's like a double ambush effect, and but it's the same number of points in both teams. So I'm totally keen to see how that plays out, because it was just like I sort of had to think about because I like the ambush system and I've played with it a lot now, and I sort of understand how I can press that in terms of because player B knowing if he's going first and having all that initial deployment advantages is a big advantage. But then player A does have that hidden information about what side of table edge they're going to come from, and they can choose that after all the deployments are on the board too. So they've got also hidden information. So I'm interested to see how that goes. This one, the Howling Tundra, I got on Deep Cut Studio. I should get a photo of this. And they've got all these different tundra mats, and and as you know, I made those 3 mountain terrains. I've got all that snow team to board and stuff. I bought a 18-inch, 6 foot wide, 6 foot long, 18-inch strip of mousepad material with a sort of suitably dark bluey sort of tundra effect. I can just roll out onto the board for a scenario if they're playing this. Essentially, it's like a breakthrough scenario, but the middle bit, that 18-inch central strip, is dangerous terrain, and you can't see further than 12 inches into it, essentially. But then you get victory points. So if you have the greatest number of total unit strength of models entirely beyond the Hailing Gale on the other side of the battlefield, you get 100 victory points per turn for doing that. So it's sort of like a breakthrough type thing. Yeah. And essentially, the Howling Gale is it's hard to traverse. It also gives you a bit of cover though as well. So if you sit there and don't move, you count as being behind a low-linear obstacle, because it's sort of like you're hunkering down in the blizzard, and you're just trying to sort of stay alive kind of thing.
Does that mean war machines can't effectively really shoot much? As beyond, with?
Well, they can't shoot across the board. They can shoot 12 inches into the Howling Gale.
Yeah.
So that'd be 2 foot from your table edge, essentially.
Yeah.
Because it's a big old gale.
But if it's behind it, what if the cannon would never hit them unless it lands on them? If it's behind line of lot, because doesn't a linear obstacle?
It's just line of sight. No, it doesn't.
Doesn't it stop if it hits terrain?
No, it stops if it hits a high linear obstacle.
Oh, there it is, high linear obstacle. There we go.
This isn't 6 set.
How are you going to do? Can you still do indirect, or you just say you can't do indirect shooting?
Well, just whatever your line of sight you can do. So if you can shoot without, if indirect, because indirect doesn't require line of sight, does it? So you could just indirectly shot. I'd rule that way. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
I'd say so.
I'm guessing someone's coming.
No.
They're guessing. They're just going to start hurling rock lovers.
Yeah, that's it.
Into the snow,
into the blizzard.
It's a very obscure reference to the Robin Hood Men in Tights when Blinken, the blind guy's up there. Go, what are you doing? As I'm guessing, no one's coming.
Oh dear.
Good YouTube, everybody.
I don't know where to go with that.
That is a good movie. I was watching that the other day.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yes.
That's why AI made you the handsome one.
So Frozen Convoy is sort of like what I'm running with the Prisoner Carriage in the GT, where it's sort of like you just have to get a sled off the table, off the other opponent's side of the table. All these scenarios are essentially just roll 2d6 on the chart, and then you just play whatever the scenario is, basically. Snowy Heights is like a central objective, but all areas of open ground more than 8 inches from the center of the battlefield are difficult. So it's sort of like you got this hill in the center that's like it's sort of like high ground, I suppose. Then if you're too far away from that hill, you're like sort of stuck down in the deep snow. So you sort of like difficult terrain. Line in the Snow is sort of just table quarters, baggage train type stuff. That's the 7. 8 is
yellow
like
snow?
No yellow snow. Guys. Cross daggers is like the flanking type thing.
That's an interesting
where you have a
planet.
flanking force. Yeah, right. So essentially have a flanking force. So this is sort of adapted from the main rule book about the flanking forces and that type of thing. But I have brought up the flanking edges, like right up. So if you both pick the same flanking side, you end up being very close to together, which I think is a lot of fun. And then there's sort of a breakthrough element, which is if in your flanking force, if you have scoring in your flanking force, they, at the end of your turn, if they're within your opponent's table edge, you're getting victory points for that. Planted leads. This is where I came up with that whole thing about fake objectives, which I'm so keen to see in reality how this works. So essentially, you pick at the start of the game, you select one of these objectives to be fake, and
that's
essentially you might have both of you pick the same one. You might have 2 out of 4, but essentially at the end of the game, you just nullify one of those objectives, which is great. And then
that's after deployment, wasn't it? You say you deploy and then you.
What have I got
before the game starts?
This is before deployment. Yeah, before deployment, each player selects a letter. You write it down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So but then you reveal.
You don't reveal it till the end of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So you could be sitting there thinking you're scoring all these points, and then your opponent.
And then your opponent's like, "Oh, actually, I picked D, so all those points are null."
That's right. That's so good.
And then the Black Tower, which I get to use my big Dark Elf tower that I built a while ago. This is again a central objective. It has a bit of a leadership debuff if you're within 6 inches of it, but it also has an ancient sort of bolt thrower in it as well. That one guy in a unit that's controlling it can use their BS and shoot, but if you roll a 1 to hit, that takes a wound against the model. So have at it if you want. And then I've written up a whole bunch of essentially three player games, like 1v1v1. So if you have odd number of players on the day, because often people won't turn up and that type of thing, you still play it. So I do have rules adapted for the old world for 3-way melee, which actually was easier to write than the 6th ed version, because the magic phase is actually much more just ability based rather than pulls the dice and that kind of thing. So it was smoother to write up. But essentially, combat phase is basically you just involve combats that involve at least one of the active players' units. Essentially, break checks you just work out per side what your values are, and then whoever wins the highest, wins the combat. And then each other player below that takes break check at whatever the differential is from the highest player. And then victory points, you only get victory points for killing stuff. So if you're trying to conserve, this is I feel like this is the best way of playing 1v1v1 or other melee options in this sort of thing. By the way, is it's not about how much of your troops are alive in the game. It should always be about how much you kill, because that means if you sit back and watch your other 2 guys kill each other, you're actually going to lose, because you actually need to be killing stuff. It doesn't matter if you've got most of your army still alive at the end of the game. If you've actually missed the opportunity to get in there and get in the melee and take off units, then you're not going to do well. So and I have readapted, there's some interesting sort of deployment maps on here for the three tables. So again, keen to see this in action as well. But suffice to say, going back to my cards, because I hadn't actually finished this story. So with these cards, so there's 2 cards for each table. So like table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If there's odd number of players, I'll have 1 extra table card for so 1 table will be a 3-player table. But inside, this is just a matchup thing. What is more interesting is you can have other crazy stuff happen and this is what I love doing this kind of thing. So you draw up those cards. So you draw 2 cards of from this deck, from the matchup deck. So in theory, it's just a table card. So you draw 2, you can pick one. You can go, okay, I've drawn table 1, table 3, and if you're the first player to draw a card, like you're not going to have much choice. But you say, okay, I'll just be table 1, and whoever wants to match up, and then matches up to me. But if you're the first player to draw a card, and this is just in random order, and you pick and you draw an invade, which means you can declare an invasion against any player who has not yet drawn a card. You can actually just pick anyone. If you draw a diversion, which is you draw an additional card, so you can still pick 2 tables, but you just hold on to that card. And after all the matchups are done, you can just swap. You can just pick another matchup. And then I've got stuff that interacts with the 2d6 scenario roll as well. So well-laid plans and something like that. Yeah, you pick it up. You do draw an initial card, so you can still choose between 2 tables. And then when during your own scenario, you can modify the result by 1 or -1. That kind of thing. I think it's fun. Yeah. So it's way more interesting than just straight up randomize. Now, one thing that I have been working on the last couple of days, because, just in terms of how the campaign finishes. So right now, like I'm sitting on some narrative territories. So they're not in the deck yet, but there's going to be a Vaelithra card. Vaelithra was my mage who's become, the focal point of the narrative for this campaign. And the idea is if you draw her and then you have a fate card, and there's a few different fate cards, they're essentially just what fate Vaelithra might have encountered. So you might draw like a capture card or an ascension card or execution, that type of thing. And so essentially if you stake a fate card with Vaelithra and you win the battle, then you subject her to that essentially. And that's sort of how I had in my mind as the end of the campaign, but more and more I'm like, it seems a bit of an anticlimax, and I almost kind of want to set up the ability, if someone triggers that fate, to then have a final campaign ending sort of big multiplayer battle again.
Yeah.
Which I think, which I'm currently in the design phase for. But it's interesting because, up to 10 players, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So I am trying to design it so there's a maximum of maybe 6,000 points per side for that. But I think it'll be a fun way of just, capping off the campaign. Sort of like how I did with the last one, with the Fall of Monte Castello, because we ended up having 3 versus 3, and it was chaos because we had checkerboard pattern deployment. Everyone had an enemy on every side, and it was quite fun. And I think it's a good way of capping off this type of thing because everyone gets to play against each other quite a few times, and it becomes a very collegial sort of atmosphere. So having a big multiplayer battle at the end is always fun.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a nice overview of what's going on for literally Procession. Now I've decided in terms of online presenter type of thing, because I wasn't sure how I was going to do this the other week, but I have put up a little wiki for it, so it's just got reference material on there. And I have also made a little public Facebook group as well. And I feel like the Facebook group is sort of a good little hub for, because mainly I usually communicate with those guys through like a Facebook group messenger, but the public group would be good because that means people can throw up battle reports for their games, and it's sort of, if I've got big announcements like important announcements to them, I can sort of put it up there in a way that doesn't just get swamped by all the other messages, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It also means that other people can follow along more easily as well, because in the old campaign, we'd have these games, and then we'd all go home and just start. We put all the photos up in the chat and like do all these little narrative write-ups, but no one else could ever see it. No, so putting it up as a public group, and giving the opportunity to have it sort of more sort of public, I think it'd be fun. It interlinks there with the wiki is just a nice source of just it's got the resources, and right now I've loaded up to each player's territories, because originally I was going to have the territories hidden, but then what I realized is it's actually probably a lot more fun to see what everyone's territories are really. So I've actually on the wiki I've just used that as a resource so people can see what territories people have, and as the campaign goes down, because in theory you should end up with like 7 or 8 territories near the end. yeah, it'll be cool to see how it all develops.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah,
you put a heap of effort into all that. How much of that did you? Honestly, it's crazy. Is any of it sort of framework from your previous campaigns? You just kind of cutting and editing where you need to, or is it?
No, it's all from scratch. Oh my god! I mean, a lot of it, like us, a big chunk of that I wrote earlier in the year, like some months ago. So I've been sitting on big parts of it for a while. And then some of it I would go back and re-edit it. Like, so when I wrote the pack for the GT, I went back to this scenario pack, and I was like, some of the stuff that I'd streamlined a bit in the GT, I went back and was like, oh, it's actually better written, or it's got a better design to it. So I sort of just went back and tweaked it and stuff. But yeah, no, this is pretty much all from scratch. Maybe the 3-player rules, that was a lot of stuff I'd written for the 6-ed one, and I could just readapt that, I guess. But
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. No,
awesome.
Yeah. I like
how many hours do you reckon you've put in so far? Or you just...
I really don't know. No idea.
Trying not to think about it.
Sometimes if I just get in a bit of a loop about writing rules, it'll be something I just like obsessively think about for like a couple of days of just like working.
Yeah.
It over a weekend kind of thing. So it can be quite a lot of hours when I sort of get ahead of steam about a cool idea that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. No, I'm feeling you, mate. I'm feeling you.
Oh my god. Anyway, I've still got some stuff to paint up. I've still got some paints. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to get that done for the campaign, but we'll see. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is a good time to do some shout outs.
Yes, that is.
We got some questions. We got some shout outs. We'll hit those questions soon. I feel like, and then because I do want to address the the big old preview and what might be going on. So we'll do that. I might do the shout outs first, and then we might have a look at what we think the preview might hold. And then we got a couple of questions.
Awesome. I'm just going to grab a beer because I'm parched.
Parched.
I'll be back.
Chatting for an hour. All right. All right. Oh, where's Gobbo's thing? He makes this so smooth. He really does.
You're doing great.
I'm just gonna shout out these guys. These guys. I mean, they know who they are, but they really want me to acknowledge their assistance in the production of this event. Now, oh crap! Now I can only read. Oh, sorry guys. So I can only read the ones on the website because Gombo has the list that includes the Apple subscribers. So sorry guys, but I'm just going to read the list that I have easy access to because I don't have access to the Patreon account. So it's Jason, Zeffel, Sexy Dan, Hobby Horse, Mark Hurwitz, Shabismus, Western Sydney Wargamers, Fuad Owner, King Pash and the Mustache Rash, Not Matt, Jess Torres, Tom Pickard, Adam Lamb, the Orange Juicer, Slanesh players like to eat Snickers bars upside down so they can feel the veiny surface on their tongues. Firebird 7137, Mark Langley, Peter Holman, Matt Hinton, Silver Dave, Sporadic Sanity, Mark, Nick, Cam the Dentist. All right.
I'm still a Patreon.
I know. That's great. That's hilarious. You're actually part of the production team. No sense at all. James McClellan, Liam Fallon, Jay McBride, Flats World Edge, Sexy Jelly, Tommy Dogs, Matthew Klein, Perfidy, Jess Torres, the Duck, formerly known as Wood. I feel like it used to be Wood Duck. Yeah, it used to be Wood Duck, but now he's formerly known as Wood. Nananuam, Jane Brosock, Robert G, Big Cork Gap Filler, OG Perla, Bob Up and Down on Me Gherkin. Yeah, okay. That's what the hell? It was really hard to read, and when I read it, I regretted reading it out. immediately. Which
I think it was made funnier because of the way you read it out.
It was hard. It was hard to read out. And then ZenFox Games Battle reports on YouTube shorter than Black Signal or Old World Fanatics. Oh, there we go. There we go, guys. He's got short battle reports. Wonder how short he can make it. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, who knows? We'll have to go and watch these battle reports and find out.
Yeah.
And then we go. That's our Patreons for another week. Well, most of them, except for the Apple ones, but Apple ones, they deserve what they get. So, let's move on with our lives. So yeah, we have a preview show. We saw a video released of two guys, clearly not actually on the beach side, by the way. We were talking about production quality of that video. It was obviously a green screen, but I enjoyed the comedy that was there.
I like a lot of their videos. That they're quite clever and
they are cool.
And it's the meetings would go into, let's just sprinkle the Easter eggs, and then you just watch like Reddit and the internet erupt about like the diet, like and all the mega nerds and all the lore nerds, because there was a Blood Angels tank in the background. It's going to be about them, and that's the logo for whatever obscure Age of Sigmar wizard or something. Okay, good. I just sit there and wait. So, but it was nice to get Warhammer the Old World mentioned first.
Yeah. I know, right? Like, I mean, hopefully that means it's got to be a big thing. I mean, what else could it? Like, there's absolutely going to be.
Something.
Chaos Warriors. I mean, they directly referred to a two-headed thing, which has got to be two-headed dragon. You've got to assume. Like, what else is it going to be? And then with all the speculation about the Warriors and the Knights being re-released with new sculpts, I think that's very likely. And then probably with the Marauders, and then as a potential starter box with the Cathay. I mean, it all makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I think re-releasing them all together in a big box, so people, even if they were on the fence about Cathay, they just buy the big box, or because they want the rule book. That's the thing I've been thinking about as well. By the way, so we're used to these FAQs coming out online. You just get a PDF, like bang, and then we can just like digest all this new stuff like right away. What do you think the time frame of this is going to be? Because surely they're not just going to,
That's actually
if they're re-releasing a whole new book and they want people to buy these starter packs with the book in it, when are we actually going to get access?
That is interesting. I don't know enough about how GW's production schedule works, right? Because they just come off the back of creating millions or hundreds and hundreds of thousands of that Armageddon 40k 11th edition starter box. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. Things like Age of Sigmar and Horus Heresy got re-released. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's sort of I don't feel like it was that long ago. New editions for them happened. It's not too far away, not more than months, but don't feel like it was 2 years since Age of Sigmar dropped. So to be about because you don't want to lose that hype train, especially for not one of their pillar games.
Yeah.
So you figure that it couldn't be too long if they go down a starter box route. If they go down that route.
Yeah. No, I mean, I reckon. Well, it's just I mean, I think the pre-orders will probably be up fairly soon. I think after the announcement, and I'll be hoping in the next couple of weeks that at least the pre-orders are up. But then I guess what I'm saying is, then the book will probably once you have the pre-order through, it'll be a week or two before maybe they get released. Maybe I'm sounding impatient. Because usually, like you wake up one morning and you just get a PDF. But I don't think it's going to be released online. I think we've got to wait for the physical books to be on our hands before we can actually digest what they've done. Because don't you think? I don't know. Like maybe they'll release it as an errata and then just also release a new book, hopefully. But if they want to sell a lot of books, maybe they won't.
It would be nice if actually, like, I don't know why they just don't have, like, you pay a premium and then you have, like, an online book that's just, like, updated with all the erratas and everything, like a living document that they just update, like, for a premium price. But then, you know.
Well, that's one of the big. You can get the 40K app does that for the rules. The rules are free. Like, you have to sort of search the rules. It's kind of, you know. But that's one of the big things. Everyone was playing War Machine and Hordes. You paid $60 and you got everybody all the time for the whole thing. That was 10 years ago, right? Whereas you're paying. The frustrating thing about the codexes for 40K is you get the book, and then there's a code in it that allows you to get access to it in the app. Yes, like that book is immediately. Because there's day one erratas for every codex and like a day one FAQ for the codex, and they were made before whatever balanced data slate update. And that's one of the big problems. So why doesn't Games Workshop just people pay a large sum of money? It's still going to make money, but I don't know. And the books can just be arty. In the latest Armageddon box, there's just a fluff book in it. You know, it's just people still buy that crap. Like I don't know. It's just I think having the rules subscription for everybody would be good rather than just a subscription.
I agree. I agree. I mean,
and then you pay for the army books and the codexes and things, or the arcane journals in this instance now. Still call them army books.
Does feel like army books. Because essentially, I mean, we have access. Like the there is a third party, rules reference, that's essentially freely accessible, and it's because it's out of necessity, right? Like they just haven't supported that side of things at all, and so that sort of pops up instead.
Because I think if you're like going to be look at purchasing a rule book, seeing what has happened, you probably I'm sure it's like a lot of other systems where they're doing like all these like erratas and updates. You'd really be thinking, are you going to be dropping $80, $90, $100 on a rule book that is probably going to be out of date pretty bloody soon? Like it's just, I don't know. I think a lot of people will be thinking that way because they bought the first one and for what happened. So, but we'll see.
If it's filled with new stuff again, like the blue book was beautiful and it got they had decades worth of art to draw on. It'd be nice if you got new art with that as well. But also lots of pictures and all the fun things. We're like, ooh, look at the dioramas, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway,
the continuation in the story and the narrative of what's going on.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of the 40K rule books are as well. Like it's the next step, and another Primarch wakes up, or someone else gets plot armor and can't die, and that kind of stuff like that. They killed off Yarrick, and now he's back. Yes.
Yeah. John, so if it's an A5 rule book, he'd buy one. I don't know. I mean, an A5 maybe. I don't know. I feel like even if it's a full size one, I'd be equally likely to buy it. I don't mind having a physical book to refer to. I don't know. I feel like I'd be missing something. Especially now they've got all the tabs in it. I must admit, having those tabs in there just makes it so easy to refer to. Just a shame the book itself is out of date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Was that the only tidbit of news, huh? Just the one line and two heads. Old world, two heads. That was it, wasn't it?
That was it.
And we just spent the last 20 minutes talking about it.
Yep.
What do you think? Is it going to be?
That's how we roll.
Well, I think they keep talking about this first Great War of Chaos. So unless there's going to be two heads, like two heads of an attack, or hell, maybe it'll be Kislev It's the two heads. Kislevo's up north, like in the cold, isn't it? That way, and I don't know. Let's just get more armies.
That is a good, an alternative interpretation there. I like it. Imagine if it was too. Imagine if that was actually one. We're all like assuming. Like, no, this is I'm keen. So that's it for. So we'll be live streaming at 4 a.m. In 3 days' time.
Who's doing that?
No. None of us. We're all going to be asleep.
No.
No, that was a joke. Guys,
unless it lines up with wherever Colin is. Unless wherever Colin happens to be in the world, if it's an okay hour for him, then maybe he'll do it. But yeah, we're in bed. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some word. Apparently, stuff is already out with influencers. Well, apart from us, because we are apparently not influential enough on here.
Don't influence shit
to warrant a.
We need like 10,000 followers.
All right, I'll just crack through some Patreon questions because I feel like that's not much more. This is just idle speculation at this point about what's going to happen, and in a couple of days we'll find out. So we'll see. And there's questions on here. So Horvath asks, do you guys think this is actually a serious question? Do you guys think that your opponent's enjoyment of the game should be considered when writing an army list, especially for tournaments? And then he does sort of expand on that and goes, I mean, some mechanics have limited or almost no counterplay, or comes to basically stat checking your opponent in some way, like spamming tough 7 stuff, which can make for a quite unpleasant experience. So should you leave those at home and play something where your opponent has meaningful decisions to make?
Yes, maybe less so for tournaments. But definitely, if any of my mates are going over going Old World outside of tournament prep, I'm not going to bring the most horrible thing possible. I'm having a game against a buddy of mine tomorrow. This is actually his first foray into Old World. I am taking Britannia, but I don't have a single peg knight. It's the Errantry Crusade. It's just remember that one. It's the full set.
Nice.
It's fun. And it's
remember it. I still play it.
Yeah, it's the best. It's so good.
Yep.
It's just like playing Orcs but with their French.
Yeah, it's the best way to play Warhammer.
It's great. And I wouldn't want to take 2 units of pegs and a peg killing duke and all that kind of stuff like that for a fun catch up. And even at a tournament, it's. Yes, I took double dragons, so that's kind of the only way I could figure out how I could get high elves to maybe compete. But
true.
Yeah, less so for tournaments, but it depends on where your headspace is at for tournaments. And if you're one of the top guys and girls that do really well, versus just me that just I've got a day away from the kids, I'm going to go play some Warhammer all day, get in trouble for it later.
That's the thing. I agree. Like, because his question is actually like, especially for tournaments, is in his question. So he does. This is a question where he's actually going, even in tournaments, even in competitive play, how much do you try to build your list around being actually enjoyable to play and not just unpleasant? Because I agree. I think absolutely right. Like, as much as these tournaments are, they're seen as more competitive, I suppose, in garage gaming and stuff. But I think people are still there to they've given up their weekend. Most people are sort of a certain age group where they've got lots of other responsibilities in their lives. And I think encountering, not so fun list does detract from the community a bit.
I guess the TO is going to have to influence it. It might be say, look, bring your filthiest stuff and have at it, or hey, this is one for new players or whatever, and they can set some expectations there. I don't think I'm ever out to win a tournament, so my army list is always an army that I want to play, that I think is fun, that I enjoy playing. Which typically ends up being not min-maxing, just it's but that's me. But I think the TO probably a big influence on it, to make it clear to what lists are expected.
Yeah.
It's a tournament though. It's still, it influences my list writing, but I don't know if it should influence everyone's. Is he asking it for a general of the community, or what we think the community should do, or is it more about what we do personally?
No, I think it's the right answer. Is actually it's based on the event, and it's based on how the TO is setting it up, and you sort of write your list to the expectation that's outlined in the pack. And that hits on something interesting, which I think, unfortunately, a lot of TOs, I think this is quite common, where they put in the pack, casual event, open to new players and that type of thing, but then they're also hesitant to ask people that submit lists that aren't appropriate to resubmit, and then just you do, and I feel like that can hurt the community when you do get new players coming, oh yeah, I'll come and play, and a resub policy isn't enforced, and then they do get smacked by some harder lists that they weren't necessarily expecting. So I think that is actually a very important community building thing the TO's responsibility has to have. But that being said, that's unfair to just put it all on their head too.
I would love to resub somebody if we get a list that's filthy.
I revel in it.
Castle. No,
I like counting them up and saying, no, I resubbed 3 lists for this event. Yeah, that's absolutely, guys.
Yeah.
But I mean I think it's unfair for me to say that's all in the TOs, and I think that to some extent, as a player, you should try to still, have how fun your list is going to play at the back of your head. Like, because even listening to 2UP talk about when they brought that massive block of gore list with the Vaelithra and stuff to that old Hammer event a few months ago, because he was like, I'll just I know it's not very fun, but I'll just play the meta list just to see how it feels at a tournament. And then ended up dropping after 2 rounds because it was just not fun for him to play. Or his opponents, and he just felt like, I just don't want to keep playing this list anymore, so he just dropped it entirely. But he wasn't having fun playing the list either, because it just wasn't interesting to play with. But I think it is ultimately massively important that for people to have fun playing the game, their list should be at least interactive, and like in terms of the events that I would want to be involved in and how I'd run them, I think that's almost goes without saying almost. But it does come down to the type of event you're playing. If you're going to ETC Masters type stuff, that's a very different context to a local RTT. And Angela Stark agrees with me. No, Josh, it's all in the TOs. It's all their fault.
It's all their fault.
Definitely.
I think, like Josh said before, John was saying before about the players coming in with the right expectations, because when I first started going to tournaments, I'm like, I'll probably get my butt kicked, and I got my butt kicked. So it's like, it wasn't a big deal, like, for me, because I knew it was going to be a bit harder because it is a tournament. So, I think you do have to come into a tournament, unless it specifically says that it's going to be, a narrative fun event. But like you were saying, sometimes you do say that, but then you get harder lists come in. But I think, people should just come in and just say, oh, so what? If I get beat, I get beat. Like, it's a game, yeah? It's not like the end of the world if you get 0-5'd over the entire weekend, or 0-3'd if it's one day. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of it's hard to how do I say it? I think there's a skill in losing well. I think it's something that's acquired. It doesn't come naturally. I think it's a certain mindset, and it's because you actually invest a lot in the game itself, like not just playing, but also all this time spent painting and money, buying the miniatures, and so much involved in that, and then putting the whole weekend aside to go and play. I think people are not having if they feel like they're losing because they've invested so much into it. I think that can sort of have a disproportionate effect in terms of how they take it quite poorly. But I think you're absolutely right, though. I think it's really important that you should be able to go, we're just having, we're both just trying to enjoy it, kind of thing. And this is how this is playing out, and it's a bit of having a bit of fun. But at the same time, if you're trying to play quite competitively, I think it is harder to lose in a good spirit. Like I think inevitably, isn't it? Because if you're a player who sort of derives more benefit from that sort of tooth and nail fighting hard to win each scrap, rather than just like throwing some dice and being really casual about it, then how does that personality lose without feeling bad? Because it doesn't like competitive nature by itself is essentially you hate losing, right? Like that's literally what a competitive nature is. Like how do you countenance that? I don't know.
Well, if you're going to go like just say, all right, I'm going to go to a 10-pin bowling tournament down the road, and you bought all the gear for it. I'm not going to expect to win, right? Like you should be coming in saying, if you're a junior person, you haven't played a lot, it's your first tournament, you play with a few mates, gone out bowling with a few mates. Like I think there should be an expectation that you might not be performing too well. Like I think that is the same with wargaming when it comes to it. Like at the end of the day, there is a lot of skill to it, around knowing not just your list, but everything else out there, the other lists, like plus the way the game plays, how you're going to counter things. Like there is quite a bit of skill to it. And look, at the end of the day, I think nobody should really be rocking up to a tournament expecting, if they're a brand new player, like you got to be real, right? I mean, you might win a game, you might get lucky winning a draw, but if you don't play the game much, I wouldn't be coming in expecting, to get a top result. Yeah. That's just the way I look at it.
No, absolutely.
I probably need to get off. I've got surgeries to do tomorrow, I'm afraid. So I might have to bid good night to you guys. It's
thanks.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks everyone in the chat. And I'll leave you guys
thanks
to
for coming on. It was awesome, Cam. And keen to see the last chapter of the War of the Beard. And if you come up with another narrative campaign system, like sort of battle report, that'd be
I will. I do have a fun idea, which will hopefully leverage at least some of the Newcastle people's collection as well. Not just mine. So that could be a bit of fun. And anyway, for now, good night. Good night, everybody.
All right, ciao.
You mate.
It's down to the duo.
We've got a nice list of questions still. I'll run through these, and then we might wrap up a little bit earlier than normal, I reckon. This is probably my favorite question of the night. No favoritism, but it's a great question. Jen Fox Sean asks, I think I like this question because it's not relating to me for once in terms of Super Slanesh stuff. How are Andrew and Gomo's Battle March forces coming along?
Where's Gomo?
I know. I should have saved that for next week, actually. But no, maybe I will. Maybe we'll ask this question next week.
I painted 4 models.
That's so ridiculous.
And that's about.
I have painted some. I mean, you guys. I mean, I must admit, in your defense, like, have been trying to you run one event and then you're running Castle and you're painting. I mean, you're printing off those bloody. Are you printing another one off as we speak? Those freaking castles.
I've paused it. Yeah, and it should be the last slot of the main part, and then I've got to do the roof bit and the doors for all the rest. So
you still got to print the roofs.
And then I realized
that was all one piece. You got to paint them. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yep. No.
Because of course the doors need to open because and you've got to take. I don't know. The roof's got to come off. Anyway,
does it? Why does the roof need to come off?
I don't know. So you can put little dudes in.
But Gomo is ordered. The roofs must be able to be removed.
Yeah, that's it. They must be removed.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure there's a way
March.
that I could have actually put it in place and printed it, but I'm a noob, so I'm just printing it all separately.
So I must admit, so with this starter, well, assume it is Chaos Warriors and Cathay, whole new sculpts for Chaos Warriors. It comes out in 2 weeks' time, a month, 6 weeks before Castle. These sculpts look awesome. How likely are you to go, actually, I just really want to paint up some Chaos Warriors rather than those friggin' castles?
I'm fanging to print up some Chaos. I'll tell you, it is on my agenda because, I mean, Gomo keeps running his silly little dragon ogres, and I'm like, I don't know. I just want to jump on the bandwagon because they're so good. But no, I like it because it's a nice fast army, and and what I've got planned for it was going to be a little bit different to just like a standard Chaos army. So it's going to be lots of Rorder horsemen, things like that. But then I've also got my Orc Boar Boy army, which I was looking at as well. I'm keen to get that on the board. Just fast, hits you fast, and that's one thing with High Elves and Cav I really enjoyed was like having a Cav heavy army where you can like really just place the stuff around. I do like the dance a bit. And that's just my style. I just find it a bit fun, more the positioning of things rather than sort of like just pushing blocks of infantry up. Just a few small. That's the problem with dwarves. You've got like 3 blocks of infantry that you push up. It just gets a bit boring.
Yeah, like dwarves are like the antithesis of that, like in every way.
Yeah.
Just no other way to describe the dwarves.
Yeah.
Unless you're running a whole bunch of gyros or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. So what you're saying is the Chaos Warriors are still on the list. Like it's not something. Yeah, cool. I am keen to see. I'd love to see you guys play this Battle March campaign thing at some point. And if it was, because it's supposed to be Chaos Warriors versus Chaos Warriors, isn't it? Like that's, or is it Empire versus Chaos Warriors? Oh, that's right, because it's a raiding force or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, I thought we were doing Empire versus. Yeah,
maybe it was Empire.
Oh,
anyway. Imagine if the starter box, because if it's Cathay Cast Warriors, then I mean it stands to reason they may actually put in a little, like, not necessarily a campaign set, but maybe a couple of scenarios that might play, especially if they're designed as battle march armies, which is very plausible. They may actually attach a couple of battle march sized Cathay versus Chaos Warriors themed games.
Yeah.
Now Gomo has got his Cathay going. He's got the basing. He's been printing them out. He's regained his hobby mojo.
Yeah.
So now I would like to see that if there was a battle march system that they put out that had that theme. Yeah. I think that might get it back on track. Back on track, boys, for the battle march.
Yeah. I think it definitely could too. It's just. Yeah, I think once Castle settles,
it's got to be after Castle, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some more free time. Yeah,
it's a lot on the plate.
But it's not too far away. I mean, it's almost July now, isn't it? It's
coming up. Jeez, Old Hammer in just a few weeks. Holy crap! Yeah. Then my one, and then Castle. Oh my god. And we don't really know when these new rules are going to drop. We just that's what I was saying before. Like, if it was just a midnight release of the PDF and it happens, then it probably is. It'll probably happen before any of those 3 tournaments. But if we're waiting for a physical release of the rulebook, as John said, itching for FAQ for Old Hammer, like it might not get books in hands for until a few days before the tournament. I don't know. Let's see. All right, next question. We've got three questions. Miss Junk's question. I think, is this a question? I'm not sure if this is a question or not. This is a question. I'm not sure it's for the show, but I'm going to write it anyway. How many sperm whale jokes will be in the comments this week? So mature. So mature. Didn't see any sperm whales. We saw humpbacks. I'm sure that's any better. But, yeah, mainly humpbacks. Didn't get to see a southern route whale, unfortunately.
Did you see the Slanessi whale in the Patreon pics? The live stream chat?
No.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God. No, I did not see that.
Well done.
I'll pop this up just so people can see it. Just though I don't really want to. It's two-headed too. So like, is that just a meta, like next level talking about the dragon? Oh, there's heads in there. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, right. That makes me feel weird. So bizarre. All right, next question. Second last one. Mark asks, no, is this a question? Or I think he was talking about his 46 kits. Does a new two-headed dragon kit count as one kit or two kits?
Oh, kits. I thought you said kids. 46 kids. I was like, what? Kits. Yes.
Kids.
It's a lot of kids.
I don't know, Mark. You tell us. Is it two kits? I mean, we'll spot your two kits for the dragon. There you go. Can't say we're not generous. You can call it two kits. One kit per head. And then last question, Angela Stark. This is a late submission, but I'm onto it. When will we get a national campaign organized by Josh where we submit our results and he creates the story?
Yeah, Josh.
Am I not doing enough? Not doing enough.
Stop being lazy, Josh. Jeez. Poor Josh. I used to like try and get like the streams up and like, well, not the stream, but at least the cover up. And old Josh has taken up the gauntlet, or
yeah, I guess so. For better or worse, this
or taking up the slack of Andrew, should I say?
One day we'll get the freaking renovations done, and we can return.
And Josh is like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's right. I can sit back. You can do them all. Oh dear. All right. I mean, do you have any hobbies to talk about or anything else aside from printing castles? Because otherwise, I feel like that's most of what I want to talk about this week.
Well, the only thing I have been doing is accumulating. Thank you, Amazon. And I've gone pretty deep. I've got my old. I got Tenacious. Today.
Oh, he's got a bottle of Tenacious.
I only got the little one because I figured you don't need that much.
No, you don't.
I ended up getting the Sierra Tech Fast ASB
nice.
Only the blue gray is one of the good ones. So I got those two, and then I ordered my not Mars. What other planet was it? Mercury 2, 3, or something.
Mercury. The wash and cure. Yep.
Wash and cure. So it's all coming. It's on the way.
Have you actually
to print?
Okay, yeah. So you haven't actually okay. Because because that's your resin just arriving. So yeah, you haven't actually used it yet, eh?
Nah, well it came with a water wash resin, but then I've read that this stuff's pretty garbage. So
I mean, I've never used them myself because I don't want to have to deal with weird watery resin stuff, but I've heard it's fine to use, but yeah, I just feel like disposal of it is a bit. Disposal of the alcohol with the resin, it's also nightmare. But anyway, just continue. What have you got any? What you going to print? Because I assume you got this printer for a reason, right? Like you had something in mind.
Well, actually, originally I wanted it because I want to get like little bits for scenery, like skulls and things like that. A couple of minis I'm looking at because like the problem is like, as you know, GW might not have. So like you got the old feral orcs and things like that. They don't have too many like lord options, so like mounted lord options. So you do kind of have to start looking out for alternatives if you want to keep that sort of theme. So with the whole army, like the War army, I was just trying to go like that whole Badlands feral sort of theme, which, I didn't really want a standard sort of like orc or a black orc. It just didn't sort of like gel that well. So that's why I think I will have to look at some alternative sculpts, possibly, just to try and keep that theme within the army. It's one of those things. 3D printing is good. It gives you the ability to create a better themed army than what might be available if you went GW only.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It opens up a whole new world. And yeah, you end up doing a whole lot more with it than you ever dream you would.
Yes. Well, the problem is, like you said, I only got the mini one. So I got the Mars DLP is one of the smaller plate sizes. So just for reference, like that's my plate, and like that's, so like a GW pot next to your plate. That's a contrast pot. No, a wash pot. So there's not a whole lot you can fit on there compared to obviously the Saturn.
Yeah, but if you're mainly using it for the occasional thing here or there, or like certain character figure, or if you're not printing off whole armies or large amounts of stuff at once, then that build plate will be fine. But and I guess the auto leveling's fine, but I always felt annoyed by it. But one thing I found was useful was draining the resin after every print and filtering it. I found that's once I got the right size spout that I could stick into the old resin bottle and just like whoosh, straight through, and having used the coffee filters. It took me like 30 seconds. So much better. Anyway, that's the Daiso ones. Cool. I'm so excited to see your resin printing adventures.
Yes. It's going to be much like, hopefully not, should I say, like my first ventures into FDM printing, where I bought a printer, couldn't work it out, bought another printer, had just as many dramas, and then ended up going what I should have probably gone in the first place, which Josh will probably say, "I told you so, Andrew."
I will absolutely, because I did tell you, and you refused to listen.
I'm a sucker for punishment.
Same thing.
I'll just do what Josh said. If it doesn't work, you just throw it over the fence out the back.
Throw it over the fence. Over the fence. I'm sick of it. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I don't have much. I don't have any hobby to talk about aside from what the campaign stuff. Not really, because I spent the whole weekend successfully watching whales without their consent. So that was fun. What else to make it weird? It's not weird. It was fun. So thanks for listening to another Fanatics episode. If you enjoy our weekly ramblings, we would love a 5-star review on your podcast of your choice. Or if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and click the bell to notify of our latest videos. And feel free to join our Patreon if you want some behind the scene chatter and that kind of thing. But until next time, thanks for listening, guys, to another episode of the Old World Fanatics.
Thank you. Ciao.